Hey MVPs, Rico Knows here. Going to talk to you guys about the first fight of the night. If you guys don't know, we pick UFC fights. I'm giving this fight out for free. I've been picking pretty good all season. If you look at the chart down here, we are at 68.6%, rounding up 69% on picks. Yes, we had a bad card last week. My first time ever going negative. I went 6-7 on the picks. A lot of coin flips. Picked the wrong side of the coin, and it happens. The red there, you see all the bleeding. What you need to know is the player props, or the props and the parlay ideas, are in order by confidence. So if you ever want to bet a prop, pick the one at the top. We tend to hit the ones at the top correctly, like we did. Shout out to the MVPs who managed to put Rose, Edmond, and Parkin all on the same parlay and bet only that. But the rest of us kind of missed here and there. It hurts when I miss a lock. I didn't miss any locks on the last card. Yes, I missed a ton of underdogs that I believed in. They did not get it done. And that's the reality of the situation. When picking underdogs, I am over 50% on the season, but it's 19-18. It's a rough one. So we got to be careful when we're picking underdogs. Got to be careful when we're picking favorites. You just got to be careful in general. The rule of thumb is don't bet on every single fight. Bet on the fights we believe in. Bet on the ones you trust. Make one or two good bets for the card and enjoy it for what it is. But let's go look at Fight Night 90. This is Fight Night Atlantic City. We're not in the Apex. There will be a crowd. It's going to be known as the Blanchfield versus Farrat card. Erin Blanchfield, if you don't know, she's an amazing fighter, probably a champion someday, and she's fighting a woman I can't stand in Farrat, but that's a whole nother story. We're going to start on the prelim at the very bottom. In this first fight, we have Loughran versus Pacheco, Angel Pacheco, Angel Pacheco, and if I had to give it to you guys straight, one is a professional fighter, and one shouldn't be in the UFC. So we'll start with Pacheco here. He's 7-2, 135 pounds. And anytime I see a guy that's 32 years old, 135 pounds, and he has love handles, I can't get down with you. Bro, I am 250. I don't have love handles. I don't know what's going on. This man has love handles, and it's there. I believe he's out of shape. I think he runs out of gas. I believe he's not built like that, and you're going against a professional athlete in Loughran. We'll talk about it. Pacheco, last fight against Danny Silva. Shout out to Cub Swanson, found himself a prospect, trained up Danny Silva really well. Danny Silva went out there and pieced him up. Actually drops him in the first round and just was beating his ass. And people will be like, well, Pacheco was swinging back. Yeah. Pacheco has a chin. I'll buy that. But he was not in shape. He was not ready for the fight. And Danny Silva looked like the class of the field and obviously outdid this man. You can go back and look at whoever Pacheco has actually beaten. And I've done it. I've done the work for you. You see him here in this rematch with Zach Schrader. I don't know why there was a rematch. Knocked him out the first time, comes back, knocks him out again in the first round. These are 2 wins. Zach Schrader's like 1-4 in his whole career. So why the hell was there a rematch? I'll never know. This guy down here that beat him, Nathan Williams, Nathan is like 14-13 in his career. So the minute he fights a journeyman, he's losing. He's not built for the moment. This is not a UFC level fighter. You lose in the Contender Series. Dana White gives you a contract because he feels sorry for you. Saw you crying backstage saying, I wanted to change my life. I don't think Pacheco's that guy. I don't believe in Pacheco at all. I think he's a sacrificial lamb, and we have Loughran here. Loughran is a world-class wrestler, kind of stocky, and he ran into a stylistic nightmare with Lapalus here. Taylor Lapalus, we saw him on the other fight night not too long ago. We bet on him. He was an underdog. He just goes out there, touches you up, and keeps it moving. Touches you up and keeps it moving. He's not anything spectacular, but he did enough to put Loughran in a position where he couldn't win the rounds with his wrestling. Loughran is a great wrestler, a great grappler. He's in great shape, and I think he's going to take you down, ground and pound you, and I think that Pacheco's going to drown. Pacheco's going to drown and not be ready for the 3rd and 4th round. Trust me, he's not in that kind of shape. All these TKOs you see down here, these are not one-punch knockouts. These are not – it's second-round TKOs, ground and pound, takedowns, being in dominant body positions and beating you up, and it's impressive. Beating Dylan Hazan here. Dylan was actually – I think this is his only loss. Dylan was a solid prospect. I don't think Pacheco could go through this run undefeated. I don't think Pacheco is built the way Loughran is, and I think this fight is to get Loughran on the map, to get him in the winning column, and to give him a chance to become the next great fighter from Ireland. Hey, shout out to Conor McGregor. But yeah, if I was making a pick here, you go look at the sports book, you guys are like, Rico, it's obvious. He's a minus 370. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is you're going to have to parlay him with other locks on the card. And if you want to see other locks on the card, you're going to have to be an MVP, because I'm not giving out any other fights for free except for the main event, which, by the way, I tend to get the main event right 90% of the time. I'm not even joking. We can go back and check the cards, but I'm pretty sure I'm getting the main event right every single time, except for Moreno Royval and maybe Walker. I've missed 2 out of all the main events. Everything else I've gotten correct. If I'm correct, I'm pretty sure I am. So either way, looking here, it feels like a lock. Give me Loughran, and I'll give you guys more locks as we go and what you should be parlaying. Careful, but it feels like we're going to make a ton of money on this card. I like this card a lot compared to last week and all the coin flips. Here we have some decisions to make and some things we can piece together to get positive money. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, yo.